Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. It's been a while since we've had a collection review, and today we're going to have Amintas' heart attack collection. It's really an interesting collection, so let's get started on it. First of all, there are a couple Omegas up there. The first one is with a little Grand Prix award notice. Is the Dark Side of the Moon, and it won the one of the awards. I think it was for a sports watch. Anyhow, that was one of the Grand Prix winners. Next to it is the one with the red circle around the subdial. Is a very limited edition, and it's limited in two ways. First of all, it was just for the Dubai area, where Amintas is from. Originally, Amintas is from Brazil, but he works in Dubai, and it's a ATNZ. That is the limited edition. Now, next to that on the bottom is the Breitling chronograph, B13047. This is a beautiful watch, as sort of laid out like that, looking at it in an interesting angle. And then next to that is the Breitling 44. Okay, these are this is sort of our starting gate, I'll say, with these the wonderful collection that Amintas has. Now, let me say something ahead of time. Amintas had taken all of these really great photographs and laid them out in this great big thing, but I had to do a lot of changing around so that they would fit on the format that we're using here for the review. But as much as possible, and whenever possible, I tried to include more. But the emphasis I had was having the dial as large as possible so you could see it. Okay. This next one is an IWC. This is a Portuguese perpetual calendar, and it's got the IWC 52610 movement in it, which is an in-house movement. One of the things about IWC that has always vexed me is some of their movements are not their own, and here they are. They should have their own movements, especially for what they charge for their watches. Bottom left is a sweetheart of a watch. That is duometer UTT. It's a traveler, universal traveler, dual time. Oh boy, I love that watch. I think it's a pretty watch, and it's a practical one too for travel. And next to it is the Master Compressor Extreme, and again another Jaeger-LeCoultre, and this one's got an alarm with it. So that's another thing. If you're traveling a good deal in your work, or just because you like to travel, especially when you're going around the world, going over different time zones, having an alarm and having knowing where you are and what time zone you're in is very important. And an alarm is very helpful. Okay, this next group we get into the Rolexes, and at the top up there, there's a really very pretty Daytona. And usually I don't go for two-tone gold and stainless steel with Daytonas or any other Rolexes. But boy, these look great. I think it's probably doesn't matter on any watch. Some they're going to look bad, and others they don't. These all look great with the two-tone. In fact, the two-tone really enhances them a good deal. Now that Daytona at the top, as you can see, that's a man's watch. It's been to interesting places. It's gorgeous watch. So. Down at the lower left is one that I just love. I had thought of getting it at one time and ended up with something else because I bought all these other watches. And this is the GMT2, Rolex GMT2, which I really another great watch. And the lower right over there is the Submariner. that's that's a that's a great watch, and I know a lot of people think, yeah, it's a Submariner. You know, how boring is that? Well, I like it, and I think that's a very pretty one too. Both of those on the bottom there with the blue bezel, I like blue on a watch. Okay, let's take a look at the Patek Philippe's. The first one up in the upper left up there is a regular with an annual calendar on it. It's kind of very nice. I like the gray dial on that one. A lot of times gray dials don't work for me, but this one does. Next to it is another annual calendar, a Nautilus. We all know and love Nautiluses. The cushion-shaped Patek Philippe on the bottom down there is a perpetual calendar, and it's another that one is really a very neat one. Excuse me. And next to it at the bottom is another annual calendar. So you got a lot of calendars. It's got the date, and all of the other information. That's a beauty. I like that one. I'm a big fan of yellow gold over white gold and pink gold, and that was a very, very, very attractive one. Okay, let's go on now. This next one, I used a whole page just for this watch. Is the what was an achieved Grail watch. Now, what that means is that it was a Grail watch that Amintas was able to get. And it's the perpetual calendar chronograph. And yeah, it's also got a moon phase on it. It's very, very nice watch. A watch that complicated really requires a lot of watchmaking skill to have that thing work well. And it's sort of neat to see someone say, oh, this is a Grail watch. Oh, by the way, I was able to get it. So hope springs eternal. Okay, this next one is one that I actually got to see in person. It is one of the finalists in the Grand Prix de Horloge de Genève in the chronograph category. It's a Parmesan anniversary model, and it has the rattrapante or split second. And this watch is it's just it's an amazing watch. It really is. And I got to hold it when I met Amintas in New York. We both went to the Patek Philippe show there. And with all the Patek Philippes that Amintas has, he had his Parmesan. I love that watch. Okay, the next ones are, there's one Grail that's yet to be achieved, and two others. I'm going to start with the Grail watch at the top up there. It's FP Journe Tourbillon, dead seconds, constant force escapement. That the constant force escapement is a remontoire d'égalité that they talk about in the seconde mort at the bottom. I'm a big fan of FP Journes. I have my Chronomet resonance right here with me. My other one is due back from service pretty quick. Okay, that watch is a beautiful watch. Interestingly, that is also my Grail watch with one exception. They have a version of it without the tourbillon. I don't have anything against tourbillons, I guess, but I don't know. There's something that has not been on my list that you got to have a tourbillon. But boy, that's a beautiful watch, and if somebody gave it to me with a tourbillon, I'd certainly not pass it up. The one I'd like to get is you have to special order for a jade colored face, and then with the remontoire d'égalité, that would be enough. I wouldn't need the tourbillon. I wouldn't need a lot of other things either. The one at the bottom left is Roger Duby. He died earlier this month, very recently. And this watch, I could be wrong, but this is what I think it is. It uses the Lemania movement in it, the same one that Patek Philippe used on an annual perpetual calendar. Now, the difference with this one and the Patek Philippe is that this uses the bi-retrograde for the months and the days. Okay, now in 1989, Roger Duby and not Walter, but Jean-Marc Viderec got together at Harry Winston's. This is back in '89, and they developed a bi-retrograde together. Now, this is my Harry Winston with the bi-retrograde, but it's from around 2003, I think, in that area. But it was the module for the bi-retrograde is by Jean-Marc Viderec, and I'm sure that Roger Duby had something to say about that. It's an interesting thing. Now, Roger Duby worked with the company with his name until 2003. Anything made under that name before 2003 has got his fingerprints on it in some manner, shape, or form. I've been sort of looking around for one. I saw one earlier today that I really liked. It was a woman's watch. I've been thinking of getting my wife one, but I already got her a really nice one, so I can't get every watch. Yeah, I'd like to. Okay, finally, next to that, at the bottom down there, is an Elongenson. This is a gorgeous watch. It's Langematic. My German is pretty bad. The pronunciation of it. I love foreign languages. I just can't pronounce them very well, and I try. Okay, this is just a super looking watch. It's a perpetual calendar, and it's in platinum. I have one platinum watch, and that's in my FP Journe that's out for service and due the next couple weeks. I hope the next couple of days. Okay, well, like I said, this is the heart attack of collections, and a very, very impressive collection. And it's nice to see this level of watch collection. I'm not saying that, some people they don't have this kind of, the kind of money that it requires to have that, and they still have well-chosen ones. But sometimes people have a lot of dough, and they don't have a choice. They don't choose ones that has this kind of variety, and they're beautiful watches, and it's a delight to see this. And I want to thank Amintas for not only sharing this, but doing all the work he did to get the photographs. He sent me a spreadsheet, everything else. The only thing he didn't send me was my pronunciation. There's no hope for me on that. Hey, by the way, if you're interested, I'm always looking for reviews. One thing, if you do send your watch in for a review, the best idea is to put it on a plain background, set it to 10:10, and that's to sort of clear away so that you can see everything. Well, it's about 1:15 now. On this watch, you can see everything. This would be a good example of a watch that if I set it at 10:10, it would be on either side of this little thing in the middle here, and you'd be able to see the whole thing. And that's the main thing. Now, sometimes, like on this one right here, you have the power reserve indicator right in the middle. I don't know where. I guess you'd have to put the probably 530 or something like that on a watch like this. But if you would, I would love to see some more watches for review. Just take a really good picture and good lighting on a plain background, and email them to me at williebegood@att.net. WILLIEBEGOODE. Okay, well, that's it for today. I hope to see everybody next Friday, and this is an invitation to subscribe if you like. Now remember, feedback is, I love to hear your comments, so leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this collection. And also, too, this would be sort of fun. What do you think would be a direction for suggestions for Amintas? Say, hey, look, maybe you ought to add one of these to your collection. Okay, it's Bill Sanders for Watch Outside, the Art and Science of Watch Collection.